And she's moving it the farthest. Hey. You got it. Don't give up. Come on. Hi, Kate. Another early morning. You can hardly see me. It's so early. It's so dark. A lot of people have been asking me, like, what time do you go to bed? How do you get up so early? Honestly, I should get to bed a little earlier. I try to. It's hard because usually last client, you know, puts me getting home around like 8:39. So by the time you get like some stuff done, get yourself organized from the day, organized for the next day. I like to read at night before I go to bed. If I have to meal prep, etc. You know, it's pushing like 10 or 10:30, 11. Which honestly, I should be to bed by 10 to get enough sleep because I'm up by 3:30. I have East Coast clients that I train around like 4 a.m. and then I leave to train my first LA client at 5 a.m. So now, so that's I always say, because also a lot of people have been asking me, you know, what they should do to become a trainer. I love when I get those DMs. Number one, because obviously I'm extremely passionate about it. Number two, obviously I think it's an amazing job. But number three, because I love that people want to learn how they can educate themselves and build themselves at a young age to pursue the career. Because I think maybe since the world of social media, trainers get a little bit of a bad rep because everyone thinks it's like, oh yeah, I got a good body, let me just become a trainer. And so it's really nice to see people who are developing passion behind it, and that's their true reason for wanting to pursue the career. But my number one piece of advice in context to everything I was just saying is, as a trainer, you have to be okay with and accept the concept that you're working when other people aren't. So what I mean by that is, you know, for the general population, they have work hours, let's say 9 to 5, 6, 7, whatever it is. Maybe they start earlier. They need to train when they're not working. So you need to work when they're not working, which means early mornings and late nights. So it does take definitely a degree of discipline to, especially if you're pursuing training in an entrepreneurial sense, it takes a degree of discipline to organize your time, optimize your time, and still self-care. So still get your sleep, still get your workouts in. A lot of trainers, when they first become a trainer, suffer the slump, I call it. And that's the first year they usually decrease their amount of working out. They get somewhat out of shape, but it's not for lack of motivation. It's a hard lifestyle to adjust to. So becoming a trainer isn't easy, but it sure is worth it. If you have that passion behind genuinely wanting to help people experience the satisfaction and gratification that you know, like you personally get from transforming your lifestyle, from bettering yourself every day, from progressing every day, from eliminating pain, correcting imbalances, from, you know, nutritional changes, your internal health, your strength levels, all of those things, then it's a really beautiful thing. I wouldn't change it for the world. I say that training found me. I didn't necessarily plan for it. When I studied kinesiology, I was an athlete at the time, so it seemed like a perfect fit. I obviously had that interest in, you know, the body and performance specifically. So if anything, I was taking it because I was going to go the direction of physio and med school and go sport med. But it kind of found me. When I got my last injury that ended my career, that was the moment when I was like, yo, I have the ability to take all this knowledge from my degree and apply it to my own body. And injuries, just like sickness, are an indication that something is wrong. Something needs to be addressed, something needs to be balanced, something is out of balance, you know, so I took that as a sign, like, hey, something's wrong with my body to have led to this injury. Let me, you know, rather than the conventional concept of let me just let it heal and then go back to what I was doing, I'm like, let me change what I've been doing to make sure it doesn't happen again. And that's the very concept that led me to actually being a trainer, because what I was able to do to my own body, I knew I could do to other people. people and help them in a very real way. So yeah, here I am. at 5 a.m. Wouldn't change it for the world.
Welcome to Goals In. Awesome workout by Goals In.
Here, and such a hot day. It's been like 105 going on 205 for the last like week. This is not like October, almost November in LA, I'm telling you. But we here in Venice Beach, staying cool here in the shade. It's actually not so bad right now. And I'm here with the lovely.
Hi guys.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Bree of Bree Least Photography.
And we're out here killing it. I actually really just wanted to be like Beyonce because I knew Beyonce shot here. If you recognize it, the Ivy Park shoot. So I'm just channeling my Beyonce right now. I don't know. I think it's working.
It is. Killing it.
It's not photoshopped. Look at this. God, we're so lucky here. It could not be more beautiful. It's almost Christmas and look how beautiful it is. I know Canadians, you're jealous. Stay jealous. Cause look at it. Couple questions for you. Cause it's like, y'all don't see really the behind the scenes. The crew that's behind the scenes when it comes to shooting or any kind of production, like it's a whole thing. Like there's a lot that goes into it. You guys just see like the final videos or the final photos. But yeah, they put up with the most, especially a photographer, that you just like don't want a client to ask or do, like a model to do. But you feel like happens a lot here in LA.
Worst thing, middle of the shoot, they're like, let me see the picture. Sure, I'll show you the picture. It's not edited, obviously, but it's fine, I'll show it to you. And then they look at it and they're like, oh, I look disgusting, like,
because they're so used to seeing themselves Photoshop.
Right, and they're like, oh, ew, no, I don't like that one, I don't like that one, and I'm just like, do you just not like the way you look? Because this is what you look like.
That's so true.
Just have a little self-love, that's all I have to say, you know?
That part.
You gotta love yourself.
That part. Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. And like, I know I've spoken with photographers that have been in situations where like the models have made obscene requests for the Photoshop, like making the waist smaller, like you name it. And it's kind of like, yo, do you just want me to, like, I could just graphically design this.
Sure.
So that's what we're not going to do.
Right.
That's what we're not going to do. So don't do that.
Don't do it.
Neon lights. so many different sources of protein. Right now I'm about to share some of the unconventional ones that I do include in my diet.